completed the culinary pathway, then make sure you purchase your culinary/STS for
Okay.
Well, I'm Preston. I'm in 10th grade. I'm now in the second semester of biotech. And so I just want to talk about what we've done so far and how the classes went. So in biotech, you do like a series of labs each week, and then you write them up in a detailed summary and a journal, and that's what you grade it on. We've done stuff like chromatography, we've branched stem cells, and we've taken like unknown bacteria strands and done like a multitude of tests to actually find out what it is. You don't really get a lot of homework in the class. You just it's a lot of fun, hands-on, you work in groups. Not really a lot of book working on.
I'm kind of building off what he said.
What's your name?
Oh, my name's Garrett, and I'm a senior. So going with like what he said, the class is pretty much building you up to do independent research if you choose. In that class, you get to do like your own original, innovative research on pretty much whatever you want, or whatever topic interests you. And you use all the skills that you learned in that class, and you apply it to whatever project you want. And like in that class, you have the opportunity to present at science fair. And we've had a few people here reach like the international level, which is a pretty big deal. And overall, it's just a fun experience. I think, like you said, hands-on, not a lot of homework. So yeah.
All right, my name is Jacob. I'm 10th grade. I've done Essentials and now I'm in Allied. So Essentials is it's mainly information about the different body systems. So if you're interested in that, that's definitely the way to go. And then Allied is more about the career and skills that you have to get into the career, so professionalism. And then you get into more specific things that they ask you what you want to do, like as a class. Right after Essentials, so then for Allied, they'll have that. You get to learn about the things that you selected on the survey. That's pretty cool.
Hi everyone, I'm Anita, I'm a senior, and I did both Allied and Biotech. So for Allied, it's like the type of curriculum that you take if you're interested in the healthcare pathway. That's basically all I can say about it. Because like you said, for Essentials, you go through you learn a lot of information, a lot of knowledge about like the healthcare pathway in general, and body systems, anatomy, things like that. And then when you go into Allied, you learn about specific topics like orthopedics, surgery, cardiothoracic, and you just learn like a more focused curriculum, I guess. And then for biotech, I enjoyed biotech a lot because it was mostly hands-on and like lab experiences. It was basically like a science class, but like more research-based. And then I did independent research as well, and it gives you the opportunity to grow as a student because you get to take the skills that you learned in that first class. And I used skills that I learned in Allied as well, and you just put it to work like doing your own research, coming up with like different facts, coming up with like different studies and things like that.
And the homework in healthcare isn't bad at all. So if you just do your stuff in class and you don't have any homework, or you might have some sometimes, that's not bad.
Do you guys have questions about Allied or Biotech, CJ?
What about the ER rooms over there? When do you get to use that?
I believe that's more Allied.
Yeah, when we did like the emergency pathway, we went into the room a lot, and then we did surgery as well. You got to use it like if you take
I haven't seen healthcare, but I know you guys do senior
Yeah, that is an option.
Yeah, and graduate with a CNA certificate and go straight into working in the hospital in the medical field.
certified nurses.
I will say though that because of Corona, there's a lot of things that we don't really and that we aren't going to get to do. So keep that in mind. Maybe if you want to do both, do healthcare later. So coronavirus won't be like that by then.
Michaela?
So I hope to be able to translate which area would that fall? Would that fall into biotechnology or would that fall into healthcare?
Probably a bit of both. Like with healthcare, you get the anatomical understanding of it, and biotech, you get into
Biotech focuses a lot more on like a cell molecular level, but like the research and stuff you can you can choose like your own passion you want to focus on.
Are there questions you guys have? These are the experts. Any questions at home that you guys have? For our experts who are taking or have taken the healthcare and the biotech pathways? If you guys have questions in the future, feel free to ask. Feel free to ask who you can ask. If we need to have them come back in and ask questions, or if you want to meet with them like before school or after school, we can arrange that if you have questions. Okay? All right. Thanks, guys, for your presentation. All right. Let me pause my recording.
I was making breakfast on the Zoom floor, like.
All right, so we're recording in our Zoom. So 80 minutes to take the test. Be ready when you start it. Have your calculator available. Have a piece of paper, scratch paper, and something to write with available too, right? So be ready when you start the test. Come on.
Okay, I have a question.
Okay.
I don't have a calculator one, so is there any way I can check on that?
Yes, I can get one checked out to you, but come by at the end of the day. That way my second, okay, yeah. So you can check one out. I did make it so that you don't have to write the simplified radicals. You can put decimals in. Right? So technically you can use the calculator on your phone. I can also show you, there's a website. I'll think of the name in a minute. Desmos. Which does nice fractions. So there's a graphing component for Desmos, and there is a scientific calculator that you can use too. You can download it, so that can be helpful if you don't have a calculator at home. So the graphing calculators will be fine. The non-graphing calculators will be fine. Am I not sharing? I'm sharing the screen, so I don't know. Okay, so be ready when you take it. It will open up at 8 o'clock. It will close at 4 p.m.
That's beautiful.
Right? So take it sometime tomorrow. Okay? I will not have a Zoom unless you tell me I'm really struggling. I would like to Zoom with you, and then I'll schedule like a one-on-one, like tutoring Zoom with you. So no Zoom for class tomorrow. Just go online, take the test. I will warn you that you will be able to see one question at a time. When you finish that question, it will move on to the next question, right? So please be honest. Please be your own information, right? It's essentially an open notes test. You have your study guide. I'm hoping that you keep your study guide. You use your study guide. But I ask that you not use Friends or PhotoMath or the internet. I think 25. It's not bad. It's not a long test, but like one question asks you for the perimeter and the area, right? So that's like a two-parter, right? So be prepared to like do some work on the size and scratch work. Keep your scratch work because I will have you turn it in with your study guides when you come back on Tuesday. That way, if there's something wrong on the test, I can go through and like see what mistakes you made. Because when I grade it in Canvas, you either get it all right or all wrong. I can go back and adjust based on your scratch work.
Wait, you said Tuesday, you don't have school Monday?
No, Monday is MLK Day.
Oh,
Yeah, I like that one.
We love it.
No school, no digital. It is a like school holiday. I will be at the chiropractor and having lunch with my dad. Like no school on the Wow. It's a 3-day weekend with some digital stuff to do on Friday.
3.5.
Okay, so based on the test review, I'm just really confused why I'm not sharing. Are there any questions you'd like to look at, go over?
5.
Five.
I'm sorry.
So for my at-home folks, my question is, can you see the review? Or do you see?
Yes, we can see it.
Say it again? Okay, can you see it as like the whole screen or just like a video of the board?
Write on it? Can you write on the board?
Yes.
Oh yeah, we can see that.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so feel free to chat. That would be the easiest way for me to get in touch with you. All right, so let's start with this review first because I have it pulled up. I would like to answer any questions that you have. I don't really want to give you like all the answers, but if you have questions about them, I would like to talk about them. CJ,
Number 3 on our turn on, that one.
okay, number 3 on our turn. So, what's going on here? Okay. Number 3. So we have a septagon. How many sides does a septagon have? 7. If you didn't know that, you always count it out, right? So I want to find the perimeter. How do I find the perimeter? We add up all the sides. Now I only have the endpoints for one of the sides, but if it's regular, all the sides are congruent. If it is regular, all the sides are congruent. They'll all have the same length. So if I find one, I should know what the other ones are. So I want to find the distance between -1/6 and 2/4. How long is it? Anybody know?
Yeah.
That is my slope is -2/3. How long is the side?
Oh,
Yeah, it's 13.
It is a square root of 13.
Okay, yeah.
and then you just put a 7 on the outside.
13.
Yeah.
So my perimeter is equal to 7 of these, square root of 13.
We're
4,
gonna put 7.
5, 6, there's 7. So how many square root of 13 do I have? 7. So I don't know if that's inches or miles or feet, so I'm going to write it as units. Now, if this is a numerical answer, you can write it as 7 times the square root of 13, or you can do the decimal approximation, but you don't have to type in the word units. Right? If it's a multiple choice question, I will write in, I'll type in the word units, but you choose the one that works. All right, anything else from the front? Talk to me, Rihanna.
Number 5.
Number 5, left or right?
Both of them.
Ooh, let's just pick one.
We're okay,
Yeah.
It's harder to do. It's your our turn.
All right, let's do the left. So I want to find the ratio of 3/1, which I will write as 3:1. Right, so the ratio is like this one to this one. So I apologize if the review had it as a fraction. On the test, it will be written as a ratio with a colon in between. So which point do I start at? R or S? R. So here's my x1, y1, and then I have an x2, y2. Do you like the fraction or the formula? Or do you want to like work it out? I like the formula, especially for the x coordinate because it doesn't come out very nice. So for my formula, I take my x1, which is 3, plus I do my a over a plus b, which would be 3 over 3 plus 4. And then I open a parenthesis and I have like my x2 minus x1. It's going to be -10 minus 3.
Miss Tyson, do you 3 over 3 plus 1?
Yes, what did I write? Oh, I wrote 3 over 4. 3 plus 4, thank you. Don't add it in your head, write it down. All right, so this is 3 plus 3 over 4. What is -10 minus 3? -13. This is just the x coordinate, so I'll come back for the y. So this is 3 plus, what is 3 over 4 times 13? I'm going to write that as -39 over 4. Are we nice? Are we okay with multiplying fractions? We multiply the numerators, we multiply the denominators. So I have 3 over 4 times -13, which I can write as -13 over 1. So 3 times -13, right? I feel like that's an okay question for me to ask. So I don't have a common denominator, but I can find a common denominator. What will my common denominator be? I have a denominator of 1 and a denominator of 4. I need their common denominator to be 4. So multiply 1 by 4, so you multiply 3 by 4, which is 12. So the calculator will do this for you, but I do hope that you can multiply these out as well on your own. So this is essentially 12 plus -39 over 4, which is -27 over 4. That's my x coordinate. Now, if the fractions are not your friend, you can always do decimals. What is 39/4 as a decimal. Can we do 39 divided by 4? We talked about long division the other day. You're like, oh, I love long division. 9.75? And that's a negative 9.75. So I need 3 minus 9.75, which will give me the decimal approximation, which is negative 27/4.
It's 6.7.
So I can call this negative 6.75 also. So I will take either answer as the fraction or the decimal on the test. It'd probably be easier in typing to type it in as a decimal, because to do division or like a fraction, you'll need to use that backslash, which, gets a little messy. All right, moving on to the y coordinate. For my y coordinate, I have my y1, which is negative 5, plus my 3/3 plus 1, times my y2, negative 9, minus my y1, which is negative 5. I have negative 5 plus 3/4. What is negative 9 minus negative 5? Negative 4. And what is 3/4 times negative 4? Negative 3. Fraction eliminated, so I have a negative 5 plus a negative 3, so that y coordinate is negative. So I can also do the decimal approximation, negative 6.75, comma negative 8. So just some grammar. It's a point, so you should open a parenthesis, write the x coordinate, put a comma, write the y coordinate, and then close the parenthesis. You can put a space, you can not put a space. That's not super important. So I'd like for you to do number 5 on the right, and then maybe we can check it out.
On the test, will you go back and look through our answers?
Yes.
Just in case there's any typos or
Absolutely.
mistakes, where there shouldn't be?
So some of them will automatically grade, and some of them will not automatically grade, and then some of them will automatically grade that I need to go back in and like make sure maybe you spelled something wrong and I missed it. So yes, which is why I want you to get it done by 4, so that gives me time to go back and like really look at it and not, wait till Tuesday. All right, anything else from the front?
Number 2.
Aaron.
Okay, I just don't understand what we're supposed to do on number 4.
Ooh, number 4, we're looking for the points.
So we just have to graph it? So put it on.
So just name whatever point it is.
Oh,
So like if I want from 1 to 5, what point is that from A to B? So that would be letter T. So T would be the answer. All right, Ryan,
Can we do number 2?
number 2, left or right?
Left.
All right. So you will have to write the equation of some lines that are parallel and or perpendicular, but this one I'm just looking for the slope. So with this equation, can I see exactly what the slope is? Is it 9? No, 9 is not my slope. So what is the best way to write the equation of a line to see what the slope of the line is? That y equals mx plus b. So I need to solve for this y. So I'm going to subtract 9x from both sides. So 4y is equal to negative 9x plus 7. And then I need to divide everything by 4. I like to divide them all separately so that I can simplify each fraction if possible. So y is equal to negative 9/4 x plus 7/4. So if I want a line that is parallel to this line, will they have the same slope or different slope? Same slope. And what is the slope of this line? Negative 9/4.
Where is the negative?
So when I subtract the 9x from both sides, my 9x coefficient is negative by moving it over. Okay. Yes, on the left? All right, number 1 on the left. All right, so I have the equation of this line. I want to find a new line that passes the point 512 and it is parallel. So will I use the same slope or a different slope? Same slope. And what is the slope of the line that's given? 1/4. So I need to find the b value, which is not going to be 3. So I never use a y-intercept when I'm writing the equation of a new line. But I do use the point 512, 12 is the y. 1/4 is the x plus some number b. And I chose one that didn't come out to be a nice whole number. What is 1/4 times 5? You can do a decimal or a fraction. 5/4. I like 5/4. Plus b. So my 12 needs to have 5/4 subtracted from it to find the y-intercept. Shall I find a common denominator? 12 over 1 is equivalent to what over 4? 48. And what is 48 minus 5? So 43 over 4 is my y-intercept. Now, if I wanted to do this in a decimal, if I have 5 over 4, that's equivalent to 1.25. So I have 12 minus 1.25. What is 12 minus 1.25? 10.75. So I'm good either way, however you decide to do it. Both answers will be available or will be accepted. So y equals 1/4 x plus 43/4, or y equals 1/4 x plus 10.75. The one thing that does need to be written as a fraction will be the slope. Always write your slope in fraction form, because I don't want to talk about a 0.25 up and then over 1. So your slope needs to be in a fraction form, unless it's a whole number, but the y-intercept you can do either way. Anything else on the front? I feel like we did almost all of them. All right, looking to the back. What formula is now available to you that the test is online versus if it was in person? The midpoint formula, right? So if it makes it easier for you, I am okay if you write that on your formula sheet. Because on every other test in the future, I don't plan on asking you a midpoint question, right? So you can use your midpoint formula. Yeah. We go to the back? So I have an answer key. Feel free to ask to see an answer. I'm not opposed to sharing answers, but I am opposed to like posting the whole thing so that you can see the answers without doing any of the work yourself. Okay. Let's look at the other test review. For my at-home folks, we did talk about questions, well, question 2 in class yesterday. But from the front, any questions there? Yeah? So question number 2, 2 answers were possible. The positive number was 15. Does anybody get a negative number that works for this? What do you get? Not -1. Yeah, this one here. All right, so you didn't have to get both, but there were 2 that worked. -8 was the other one. So -8 minus 7, that would be a -15 in this way. Sorry. No, I'm good with your -1. You're right. -1 would work because -1 minus 7 would give you that -1, yeah. All right, anything from the front? Anything from the back? Number 11, yes. So we're doing some classifying. So there will be some like this on the test where you want to like determine which one is which. So if I have a polygon that has 4 congruent sides and 4 right angles. So I'm a visual learner. I like to visualize what this looks like. So 4 sides are the same. And my angles are all right angles. What is the most specific name for this shape? A square. If I have diagonals that are congruent and 4 right angles, so I have 4 right angles, and then my diagonals are congruent. So this is the same length as this. I would call that a rectangle. Wait. Could it be a square? Yes, but I'm not guaranteed that it's a square. So So I do need to know about the properties of diagonals. Here is a good visual of my properties. The parallelogram, rectangle, rhombus, square with my diagonals. So letter C, diagonals are perpendicular and consecutive sides are congruent. So if my diagonals are perpendicular, what does that make it? Not necessarily a parallelogram. So a parallelogram has diagonals that bisect, but not necessarily perpendicular. There's one that has diagonals that are perpendicular. A rhombus does. Now, it could be a square too. It could be a square, but it is definitely a rhombus. So the consecutive sides are congruent. So these are congruent. So that would make it a rhombus. Could it be a square? Yes, but I don't know if those are right angles in the corners. So I can't be super specific. And then letter D, 2 pairs of parallel sides and 4 congruent sides. I have 4 congruent sides. And these are parallel. What would I call that? Also a rhombus.
Oh,
It could be a square, but I can't guarantee that it's a square because I can't guarantee it has right angles. So list the name that you know for sure. Kaylee.
Did someone answer square to that question?
Yes. Because I can't guarantee that it's a square.
My dad is square. He said everything was square.
Your dad is wrong.
My dad is square.
Wrong.
Yeah.
Not everything is a square. Now, it could be a square, but I can't guarantee. But it's definitely a rhombus. Okay? Okay. We are going to, I'm gonna pause my recording. Maybe.